everybody? I am back with more excitement for you today, brought to you by me. Why? Because I pay for this. I write the checks, I pay for everything, so it's brought to you by me. Piss on everybody else, it's me today, okay? How do you like it now? It's a team talk. We are bringing something to the forefront here because everybody wanted to talk about a brand battle here, but I don't want to do a brand battle on this because, well, if I do a brand battle, it's just easier for me to tell you which one's the best in my eyes, so that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a team talk today about the Ultrex. Correct, Jordan? We're talking Ultrex today. So that's what we're gonna do. But before I do that, let me swing into the old subscribe thing that's gonna show up right down in here, probably. Somewhere in here, because that's what Jordan does when I say this. Make sure you go subscribe, and we appreciate it. And also, get over to my other page. Get over to the new page and start subscribing there. That is Team Marine TV, Jordan? Yep. Get over there and get on that and subscribe. By next week's video, I'm going to pick one person to win a hat for if you go subscribe to that after we get done watching this. So just go right over there, click on that, subscribe. We will pick a winner out of the subscribers over there. So let's get over there. All right, so we got that done, that done. Can I go now? Yep. I got all the political crap out of the way. Now I can start doing what I love to do. Ready? Boom, here we go. Ultrex team talk. This is what we're gonna talk about. Why, when, how, what makes Andy click? Why does Andy like the Ultrex, okay? That's what people wanna know. Why they want the brand battle. I'm not gonna do a brand battle. All right, so here's the deal. If you've never been here, never fished here, never been around Mississippi River, Lake on Alaska, all that stuff, you don't understand the weeds that we have. And when I say weeds, the vegetation, there is no place, and I've fished Florida, I've fished Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, I fished in North Dakota, Texas, Canada. There is no place. I guess I haven't fished much on the West Coast, but New York, but I've never come across weeds like what we have here, vegetation. We have every single kind of vegetation possible, I think, in the underwater thing in this area. It just continues to grow and it gets thicker every year. Good for the water clarity and everything else. Bad for your trolling motor. Bad for your ability to get where you need to go. So that is my number one thing why if I'm picking a trolling motor and I gotta go put one on my boat to go tournament fishing today, I'm picking the Minnkota Ultrex 112. They created spot lock, whether you like it or not. They did it first. They probably created link because they had the first trolling motor to go compatible with the electronics. Everyone else copied. They came up with the shaft, the composite shaft, and everybody else copied. Everybody else is copying except for Motor Guide. Motor Guide was battling, but Motor Guide's not even a trolling motor in my eyes. Throw that thing in the garbage. I mean, Motor Guide's just not part of the whole spectrum of things anymore until they fix some things. I don't need a trolling motor with a fucking head on it that's this big. That's going to be in my way. I don't like that. So, that being said, I know you're going to say, well, the Lowrance one and the Garmin, they got more power. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. But I've had the Lowrance and I've had the Garmin here out on the lake. They will not go through the weeds like the Minnkota will. So they won't hold up to the weeds. They turn into just a ball of poo. They bleh, 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 up here. So it won't do it. Yeah, brushless, not brushless. Yeah, brushless motor, $800, $700. I can get you a loaded shaft with MDI for around $600 to $800. You understand? I can get you just the armature on the Minnkota for $2 something, probably, maybe $189. Chad! How much is an armature for a 112? Just the armature.
Just the armature, couple $100.
There you go. Couple $100. Boom. Installed what? 20 minutes, half hour, ready to rock. There. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Price point. We just looked at it today because Jackson's really liking his nitro right now. So we're looking at another boat brand for him, and he's loading it up, and it is $1,000 cheaper than the others. You know, when I say the others, Garmin's $1,000 more expensive than the Minnkota, and I think the other one's $700 or something. So price point, boom, Minnkota. Problem, can't get Minnkota. We understand that, but they're in some deal right now. We're not even talking about that. I'm just saying you can't get them right now. So user ability, I'm saying like going through weeds, spot lock, handling the current, it does it all. It'll do that here. It'll make it happen here. Current, you're gonna be okay with the Garmin. You're gonna be okay with the Lowrance. Spot lock, I'm sure you're gonna be fine. I've seen horror stories on every one of them though, from Minnkota with the spot lock spinning around, taking me in new places. That's all of them. I mean, that's all GPS stuff. So I'm not even gonna bring that into a tangent of what's going on. But through the weeds up here, when the growth comes and the vegetation's there and I wanna get over there, there's no other trolling motor that's just gonna go right through. I'm sorry, there's not. It's not gonna happen, and that's gonna be huge. And then when it comes to style, I still think they have a great style. I really do. I think they had a great style from the beginning. I kind of was a little leery on the stupid head looking thing with the coily cable, but it works, man. It really does. It really works. It's a good product. Shear pin driven prop works. Keep a shear pin. Blow a shear pin, throw it away. Check your shear pins. It's pretty common. And as a service shop, when it comes to Minnkota is the easiest for us to service. You get to the Lowrance, there's more stuff. There's not. Anybody that's dealt with Lowrance knows that it's not the easiest to get stuff anyway from Lowrance. It's just not going to show up here in 2 days. There's no way around it. I can have Minnkota stuff here next day. So if we got a problem, major, boom, I can have it here the next day. So props to Minnkota on all that. Garmin has been great when it comes to service. Now it's not next day, but they get it to us 3 days or so. So they get us the parts, but a lot of bracket issues with them Garmin's, a lot of just tinkerly little things that take time to replace. And we did a bunch of little things in a bracket about 2 weeks ago, and it just makes me not like what they got going on there. I think when it comes to what we need more of, when it comes to Minnkota, maybe just a little bit more fine tuning when it comes to brackets and stuff like that. Get maybe so things are a little bit nicer, tighter, but man, outside of it, it is a no-brainer for me. If I'm buying a new boat, I am putting an Ultrex on it. And if I'm a Lowrance electronics guy, I am still putting a Minnkota on the front for me. I know there is some guys out there that basically on tour, if they're Lowrance guys, they're going to be loaded with Lowrance. I mean, come on. That's what they're getting paid to do, right? If you're a Garmin guy, you're getting that, or you're getting the stuff for cheap. That's what you're going to do. It's not about what I think when it comes to what they're doing. They're doing it because they're getting paid. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. Don't tell me I'm wrong. It's a business. That's the way that is. You're not gonna go and, hey, you want to give me some 12s, and then yeah, here, we put this trolling motor on. We'll give you the. Oh, I got a Minnkota. That doesn't work. We know how this works. You know, if you're getting them for good pricing, so you can flip them, so you can make money at the end of the year. That's a business, guys. That's. I've got to pay for my next year's tournaments. I got to either flip my boat or flip the stuff that's on my boat. And the only way you do that is you get the best deals possible. And the best deals possible, front to back. Front to back Humminbird, Minnkota, front to back Lowrance, front to back Garmin, right? Simple. You're gonna get the best deals, and you're gonna maybe get free, and that's just how it happens. And you can sell that stuff off at the end of the year. It's a business. But from my point of view, if I'm fishing what I call the weekend warrior stuff, I'm putting a Minnkota on, and I'm gonna run Humminbird graphs, or I'll run Lowrance. I don't care. Like I said, I don't need a graph to catch a fish. I can go do that with a graph. I need a trolling motor, and I need a trolling motor that's quality. And I'm gonna say right now that when it comes to it, the Ultrex is number one. So 45-inch shaft. I don't agree with the bigger shaft stuff, but I'm not offshore. I'm not in that deep water stuff. 45-inch shaft. Yeah. There's another. Should we talk about that other brand that's coming?
Yes.
I can't say much though.
I'll say what you can.
It's right here. Are you gonna put it there? You can't put it there?
Can I put their logo there?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We'll put it there. We'll blur the logo out.
That's fine. That'll work. Are we gonna get in trouble for that?
No, I think people know.
I think they do too, but I'm just not gonna get in trouble because I still want to have it in my hand before anybody else. There is another one coming that is going to be game changing. COVID slowed everything down. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's gonna be game changing. It is next level. It is the deal. And when it gets here, people are gonna be like, okay. But at this point, Minnkota. Minnkota. That's all I got, Jordan. You want me to hit on anything else, or is that what people wanted? Because if it was a brand battle, it would be Minnkota. I mean, the only thing would be different is like we're in current, they're going to be better than Minnkota because they're brushless. You know what I mean? They got that power to continuously go. They probably use less battery power, but with lithiums today,
Have you heard anything about Minnkota going brushless?
yes, there's been some talks of some brushless Minnkota stuff coming. And the only reason they're going to do it is just because of the talk we're having right now. Is that, well, they're not brushless. Well, they flat out said that brushless motors are cheaper to repair than non-brushless. Or non-brushless are cheaper than brushless motors. If we bend a shaft or do something crazy down there, it's going to be $900 to fix this. And why can't we do that when we do it for a couple $100? And if we're this much less power, is it really worth that money? Probably not. So, but yeah, there's definitely talks about it, and I've heard talks about it. What else you got? Any more questions? What do people want to know about this, Jordan? I think the biggest problem too when it comes to trolling motors in boats is power, right? I mean, are we running floodeds? Are we running AGMs? Running gels? Are we running lithiums? Or do we have breakers set up correctly? Do we have the right gauge wire going to the front? Obviously, if it's a new boat, it damn well better have the right stuff. But even today, we're seeing some stuff that isn't to Minnkota code when it comes to breakers, when it comes to that type of stuff. So that's huge, guys. When you're buying a trolling motor, no matter what brand it is, take time to open the book, read what it's supposed to be, right? We want to know that it needs a 60 amp, it needs a 50 amp, it needs to have this gauge wire. We need to go direct, we need to go not direct. What kind of plug do we have? A lot of these boats, some people are going from 24 to 36, and they have like a 24 volt plug. We had one the other day that had a 12 volt plug in it. Not going to work. You know what I mean? That stuff's going to get hot. Things are going to change. You're going to lose amps. And it's going to be a mess. So that's what you got to think too when you're doing this stuff. Especially if you're going through the weeds, the current, all that stuff. You got that thing jacked up on Jackrabbit for a long period of time, or if it's spot locked and it's running up to 7, 10, boom, blow a breaker, lose power, gets hot. That's bad. So that's huge when it comes to all that stuff. So there is a lot of trolling motors that get bad names, but it has to do with boat rigging. It has to do with what's going on there, and that's something you definitely need to pay attention to. And props to the trolling motor companies. They do send books for a reason. You can open and read, and it talks all about that stuff. What else you got, Jordan?
Is there anything to be said about the Minnkota school that you mentioned?
I would say yeah. I mean, if you're looking into be a service tech, I would definitely go to the school. We learned a lot, but we didn't go in there like blanked. You know what I mean? I had been fixing them for 10 years before that. I was just getting my parts elsewhere. I knew the concepts, I knew how to do it, but it was like, I don't even really mess with them anymore. Chad does it all. I've taught Chad, and Chad's been doing it now. So it's just, he loves doing it, and he's really good. So he's clean, he's organized, and that's what it is. So, but is there something to be said? Yeah. I mean, I could send Chad over there, and he could go through probably top course and pass, just because of, we all know we learn best from experience. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about being a Minnkota service center, definitely go to the school for sure. 2-blade, 3-blade prop, I think 2-blade's the deal. If you look at the Minnkota prop versus like the Lowrance prop, the Minnkota prop's wider, does a little bit more beefy, it handles it. Because I know guys that wear them tips right down, them arc tips right down to nothing. And I mean, that's a big deal with that trolling motor. You make sure that that prop is fully intact. I mean, we've had trolling motor props that, you know, they're like this big, they come into us, they're like this big. Trolling motor's not working. Put a prop on it, way you go. They beat the crap out of them. And that lays true to like the, I truly think the propping is the issue, and how the motor is built for cutting weeds and not balling up, you know what I mean? So this is our shaft, this is the head. Them weeds will ball up around that shaft, and they just sit there, and with the Lowrance, it can't move the weeds, and that prop just doesn't work well with the weeds. It just freaking balls up, and it just doesn't like it. It just doesn't like it. So, I mean, the best trolling motor ever built for up here was the Evinrude that had the shaft that went like that. If you've been in it long enough to know that trolling motor, like I do, I used to repair them, that was the best for up here. Why? Because the prop was back here, shaft was here, weeds were stuck in the front. We actually made brackets after they got rid of that. We built brackets that attached to the cone in the front and rose up to the shaft. So it forced all that stuff up, forced it away from the prop. But now we got weed cutters and crap like that. But I'm not a fan of weed cutters and stuff. I mean, I've seen guys take like knives and cut them and do them on there. But I don't know. It's just what it is. But in the end, if I'm going to buy a trolling motor for my boat today, it's an Ultrex. Until maybe the next company comes out with one. then everybody's gonna have to change again. That's how that's what this industry does. It's like a punch, slap, run, punch, slap, run, punch, slap, run. I'm the winner, here you go, and then everybody copies it, and there you go. That's what this industry is about. That's how this industry rides. How it has been for the last 2 decades. You know, it's just the way, that's how it goes.
Are there any Ultrex maintenance tips you want to give?
Ultrex maintenance tips, yeah, of course. Take your prop off. Take your prop off, make sure there's nothing in there. Simple test on that is you can pull the dipstick, we call it, pull the dipstick. The bottom screw on your armature on the bottom, just take that long screw out, pull that thing out. There's just a little O-ring there. I would order the O-ring kit before you do it. Just pull that out, make sure there's no moisture, no water, no nothing in there. Slide it back in, tighten it by hand, start it by hand, make sure you're going. Don't touch anything, don't mess with the skag, don't do anything, pull that thing out. It should be clean. There shouldn't be no rust fuzz, no water. I guarantee you, most of you guys go and do this, and you have the O-ring kit, and make sure you have the O-ring kit. You pull that thing out. I bet you, if 20 of you go do it, I bet you 8 of you have water come out of your stuff. Just because you have bent armature, you have fishing line behind the prop, you have weeds behind the prop, you've hit the skag and bent it and twisted it. All that stuff is not related to Minnkota quality. That is user neglect. But you're gonna do that, you know what I mean? I can't believe the amount of customer support Minnkota gives to their customers on trolling motors that take water on. It's amazing. It's amazing. Every time we get a warranty claim on one that's got water in the lower and they approve the warranty claim, I just always say I would never do that because it's neglect, it's all that stuff, but they take care of their customers. And I think and that was one of the things they talk about. They talk about that over there. They want to be able to take care of their customers. They want to. And they put that trolling motor through a rigorous, I mean, frozen to a core to hotter than freaking the sun. I mean, they beat the crap out of that thing over there. And they do that with all their parts when they come in. I mean, we witnessed it. We witnessed the shaft literally freaking back here and letting go. They take it to breaking point and then it shatters. And then they know that that batch of shafts that came in is good. They take the switches and they put them through the weather test. They do all that crap. So it's not like they just throw them together. They test. We got 10,000 these parts in. They take so many out and they go test them. And then they pass, they go on the trolling motors. If they fail, they call the vendor. The vendor, they get their deal done and they figure it out. And that's what I think they kind of ran into why there's not as many available today, right now during COVID, because we had everything COVID built. Remember that? Remember Andy had COVID motors, COVID built? Because the quality of parts went downhill because no one could get them. And I think Minnkota said, we are not going to build that without the quality name that we've lived by. That's why I think they can't get their stuff going. I know they had personnel flip ups during COVID. I mean, like we said before, we order a White River boat, there's not a Minnkota on the site, correct? We can't even get a Minnkota. So they are quality. They want their customers to have the best quality product that they can build. And if they're putting stuff through tests and it was failing, they're done. They're not going to deal with it. So I think that's part of the deal. So props to them on that. And I know other brands just put the stuff together and got it out the door. And that's, just be honest and be like, hey, I can't get it. We can't get the parts. I mean, we're waiting on a seat right now that I ordered a month ago. It's just a seat, but it's an air ride seat for a walleye guy that needed one because he's got a bad back and he just wants to be able to sway. They're waiting on a couple parts. And it's what it is. It's just the way it is. I mean, like I said before, if I could ship parts, I'd have all sorts of them, but I can't do it. So, yeah, end of the day, Ultrex is number one. There you go. That's it, Jordan. Can I comment one more thing?
Yep.
On our website, we have a comment section, correct, Jordan? Or a donate page, a donate section. You can go on there. If you have a question for me or you have any of that stuff, go on there and donate and we will get back to you as soon as possible. I have an overwhelming amount of calls coming in and questions on their setups on their boats and this and that. And Katrina gives me all these messages, guys. But the fact of the matter is not only am I do this, but I'm a mechanic. I have businesses to run and I have everything else to do. So it's hard for me to get back on the phone to talk to you when I can make money when I'm laying on my back down here doing whatever it is I'm doing. So just go on that page, click donate, donate $1 or $2 or $5 or 10 or 20. I've had guys donate 25 bucks. That money gets put back into our community, all right? It's not like I keep that money. We will put that money back into the community and you will see that. You'll be part of that. Whether it's for kids, whether it's for less fortunate kids, whether it's for kids at St. Jude's, and whether it is for military, meals for military, all that stuff. You will be part of that by donating. So if that's something you want to do, just click that donate, drop your question, donate $1, $2, $5, $20, $100. I don't care. We don't care. We just appreciate it. That's what the goal of that is. Because we're overwhelmed with all these questions, just go there, click donate, boom. You may not get an immediate response, but we will definitely, if a donate comes through and Jordan sees it, he gets it to me. And he's like, hey, this guy donated, and we get the question answered. So that's a simple way to get through to me, all right? I know you want to talk to me, whatever. Hopefully this winter we'll be able to do some traveling where you guys will be able to come out and see us. So be able to come out and talk boats and do what we want to do. We got some stuff lined up for the off season that we want to do. So good things coming. Like always, man, I appreciate your support. I appreciate all your comments. I love the comments. I don't get to read them all anymore because there's so many, and that's awesome. We do our best. And always, you know what you need to do. You got to go subscribe to the other one. If you haven't subscribed to this one, you got to do them both. If you're on this one and subscribed, you need to go over there. Otherwise, you won't have a chance to win a hat. So you got to go subscribe to both now, right, Jordan? Yep. A and B. Is this one still A?
Yep.
Awesome. A and B. So make sure you're commenting here. You're subscribing. As always, be part of it. Get engaged. Talk to your friends, family. Make sure they're doing it. Jordan told me today, what, 2.5 million?
Three.
What?
2.3 million.
2.3 million total views. Insane, guys. Insane. Awesome, awesome. Like, this was like, last year you told me 1.5, or didn't you, or something like that? Less than a year ago, you told me 1.5, and then today he comes and tells me 2.3. Amazing. You guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. I appreciate you. And as always, comment, subscribe, and click notification bell to witness the madness that I have always said. Speed, money, no brakes. I'm out. See ya.